Good morning. My name is Ella Charrington. I would like to start by thanking you for the honour to talk to you today about deafness and hearing health. Specifically, I've been asked to talk about, do my school peers know about deafness and hearing health? There may be exceptions, but in my experience, the answer is a simple no. My peers do not know about deafness or hearing health. To be honest, prior to finding out that I had a permanent hearing loss, I never even gave a thought to my hearing. So left with this answer, I wanted to try and convey something meaningful in answering this question. I thought about my personal experience with deafness and hearing health, and I realised that my life experiences would indeed bring colour to this question, and perhaps others could not bring. You see, I have had a moderate hearing loss since birth, but it was only discovered when I was around 10 years old. Up until then, teachers, doctors, my parents, and my friends had no idea that I had such a hearing loss. The story as to the discovery of my permanent hearing loss is a long one, but I'll cut it short. It is important to note that at the start, all of my sisters and I passed the baby hearing test. We started down the path of discovery thanks to my middle sister, Abby. She was about 7 years old at that time. Abby was having little difficulty with school. My mum saw the GP and they decided to get her hearing checked. A good move, because there was a hearing deficit. The hearing deficit was corrected after a small surgery to insert grommets. Whilst it took some time to resolve her hearing, it has returned to normal. Next up, my younger sister Phoebe started school, and she too started having troubles at school. Mum went to the GP, and while the GP said it may be too early to worry, my mother is particularly strong-willed, and with one child already experiencing hearing issues, she insisted that a hearing test take place. Turns out that she did have a hearing loss, but unlike Abby's hearing loss, this one was a moderate permanent hearing loss. Phoebe was 5 years old. As we were still in the process of resolving Abby's hearing, we were fortunate to see Abby's ENT. My mother, ever vigilant, mentioned Phoebe's hearing loss. As they discussed the history and the presentation of the hearing deficit, the ENT recommended that the whole family had their hearing tested. So I had my hearing tested and found out that I needed hearing aids, and in the classroom I would benefit from an FM. The adjustment was difficult for me. It required me to change schools so I could receive support and miss out until their diagnosis. I also received great support from Dana Pollard at Australian Hearing. She was the person who fitted me with hearing aids, showed me how to use the FM, but most importantly, made me feel the aids were okay, and I should embrace them. The support I've continued to receive has been essential to my improvement at school. I am still working out how to cope with my hearing loss as new situations arise. Given this short potted history, you should know and understand why I would like to rephrase my question to be, does any other than specialists know about deafness and hearing health? Again, the answer to be broader question is a no. I would like to think that in time the answer is expanded, questions will change. How that is achieved is a matter for you and others to succeed. How do you raise awareness when there is a hearing deficit and hearing health more broadly? Thank you once again for this opportunity.